Welcome back to Bluebonnet News Headlines and Heartlines, where we go beyond the headlines and get to the heart of the people serving Liberty County. Today I am joined by Wade Brown, known to many as Judge Brown, after his years serving as Justice of the Peace for Precinct 5. Now he is stepping away from the bench and into a new race as a Republican candidate for Liberty County Precinct 2 Commissioner. This move leaves his current judicial seat open to new candidates and puts him in the running for a position that oversees county infrastructure, budgeting, and policy decisions that affect residents of Precinct 2, it'll be Precinct 2,
yeah.
Every single day. Judge Brown, Wade, thank you for being here.
Thank you for being here, too. I appreciate the opportunity to get out and talk.
Good. You served for years as a Justice of the Peace. Why leave a position where you're established and respected to run for commissioner? What changed?
My constable asked me the same question, and I told him what I'm fixing to tell you.
Okay.
The reason why I'm running for commissioner of Precinct 2 is because we have lacked a commissioner that stood up for this area since I've been a Justice of the Peace. We've actually had two different county commissioners in this precinct since Lee Gross lost his election to Charlotte Warner back when they had the big swap going on. What Lee started, nobody's ever picked back up. We drained water away from the school to keep the school from flooding, but we caused more problems for people below the school and had several subdivisions that have flooded out and had houses that have flooded since then. And anyway, people talking, people asking, and I said, yeah, I'll get in there. I've been doing the JP deal, and I think I'll do a great job as a commissioner.
A Justice of the Peace interprets and applies the law. A commissioner helps set budgets, manage infrastructure, and votes on countywide decisions. How do you transition from judge decision-making to a commissioner decision-making?
I've been working within budgets for public education in different school districts for years. As a small business owner, I also have to work in. I have to do my own budget. I have to make sure that I don't go over and I don't hire people and pay them more money than what I should be having to pay so that my business can show a profit. In the county, we're not looking for a profit. We're looking to get a job done at a certain amount of money to where we can stay within budget.
Okay. Precinct 2 has seen a lot of growth, as you and I both know, and roads are a constant concern for many residents. What specifically would you do differently, if anything, to improve infrastructure?
When Lee Gross got out of here, him and Melvin Hunt were two of the largest precincts in Liberty County. They were also two of the biggest. I mean, basically, they kind of ruled Liberty County. I'm not trying to get in that direction, but the roads now today are costing about $400,000 a mile to go in there and tear them up and repair them and fix them back. So, and we're sitting here with a budget of only $4 million for the entire precinct, which is on both sides of the river. And there's no way that we can get out there and pave all the roads that need to be fixed. It's going to be a patch and prepare fix the ones, rebuild the ones that are most traveled.
Okay. So how do you determine which roads get fixed first? What metrics should drive those decisions? Would it be traffic count, condition ratings, citizen complaints, or something else?
I think traffic count would be one of the best ways to do it, but we don't have traffic counters that I know of in the county where we can lay out. They don't cost that much. They could be bought and used. The road and bridge foremen that are in both of these precincts on both sides of this river, I know a lot about my side of the river. I know a little bit about Butterbean Island, Knight's Forest. I know a little bit about Clark, Rye, and those areas, but it would just. I think the traffic counters would be the best way.
Do you believe that Precinct 2 currently operates with a long-term infrastructure plan, or is it more reactive?
Honestly, I think it's reactive. We're lacking leadership.
Okay. Road and bridge funding, as you mentioned, is very limited. Would you rather maintain more miles at a basic level or focus on fewer roads and upgrade them to a higher standard?
No, I think if you live on the end of a road and it's only a half a mile long and you got 15 or 20 houses that are on the back side of that house ought to be maintained, as well as the road that's running 40 miles that has about the same amount of traffic. It's going to cost more to maintain that longer distance. And usually the short strips are the ones that are neglected the most.
Okay. Would you support bond debt for major infrastructure projects, or do you prefer a pay-as-you-go approach?
bonds are a great option for it, but it's like I said before, we get flooded out around here enough to where the GLO and going after grants to do the repairs and fix this up. I mean, we got Harris County bumping on our back door trying to get water across our county. Why can't Harris County come in here and help us more?
The water causes a lot of damage to the roads. Is there any way to fix it to where those roads don't flood any longer?
Fix the ditches.
Fix the ditches?
Lee Groves had a great deal going on Gaylor Creek over here, and he started it, and he pulled a lot of water away from the school, but he didn't give it anywhere to go, and that's what you got to understand about water. When you start moving water, these subdivisions, I was at a deal at was it Oakshade Baptist? No, it was Rural Shade Baptist, excuse me. But anyway, and listen to those people have their complaints, and their complaints were founded on the fact that they were scared they're going to get flooded out by these new developments. But if the new developments have places for their water to go, I farmed rice, and I know that you have to have a place for water to go. When you drain 250 acres of rice, that water's going somewhere, and if you're living if you're farming next to a neighborhood, they don't want that water coming out of the rice field going into their neighborhood, because essentially there's herbicides and there's other stuff in that water too.
But aren't they building ponds and things that will accept that water?
A retention pond's great, but again, when it fills up, it
reaches the top. Yeah,
it's got to go somewhere, and if you don't have a place for water to go, it's going to go somewhere, and it's going to go in your backyard. It's going to go in your house.
Do you think the drainage plan's going to fix a lot of these problems?
I think we've been living in Liberty County long enough and we got road and bridge people that have been working here. I mean, there's a possibility we're going to lose a couple of people when this is over with. I don't want to get rid of anybody, but there's that possibility. But we've all seen this stuff flood. I've lived out here for 46 years, and I know where the water comes up in my area, and these other people know where the water comes up in their area.
So speaking of living here for 46 years, but prior to becoming a JP, you were a school teacher, correct?
Yes.
You want to talk about your history here in Tarkington?
Yeah, my family, my wife and her family actually grew up over where Cypress Lakes is now. Mm-hmm. It wasn't that. It was the old Johnson Ranch. There was no 105 ran through the middle of it. The bottoms have been the bottoms. Tarkington has a unique deal to where my opponent, Greg Arthur, has come up and said that it's just a flat area. There's no way for it to drain. Well, Dayton's a flat area too, but they have the river bottom going into the Trinity River, and that water falls off, and it goes downhill. And we have the same thing out here at Gaylor Creek.
Where is Gaylor Creek exactly?
It's down here where 2285 meets 163.
And it's capable of accepting all this water?
It's going to take a lot of it. No, there's going to be other positions. I mean, and I'm not throwing the other side of the river out of the deal too. Like I said a while ago, Knights Forest, all that water drains off and it goes back towards Trinity River from the other side. But it's all these things have to be looked at. You just can't say, well, it's all flat, it's going to flood anyway. That's not a real good way to plan.
Yeah. All right. So how aggressively should the county pursue state or federal infrastructure grants?
Grants are the way to go. Public education, the county. Anytime you get these grants are out there. It's money. If you go after it, you don't have to pay it back. If you go bonds, you got to pay all this money back.
I got you off the topic of how long did you teach school at Tarkington?
28 years. No, not at Tarkington.
Okay, 28 years you were a teacher?
Yeah, 20 years as a teacher.
You did ag, right?
I did ag, building trades, automotive diesel, tractor mechanic. I did.
So you understand the machinery and things like that? Okay.
Yes.
What is your philosophy on outsourcing road work versus using county crews and equipment?
If you only got 11 people on this side of the river and 11 people on the other side, there's not going to be a whole lot that they're going to get done, because in this precinct, Greg told me this early on, 541 miles of road. So that's going to give you 1,080 miles of ditches that have to be mowed and maintained, and they have not been maintained. If you drive around and you look at the ditches, I've already said this, and I don't want to keep going that direction, but they have to be cleaned out, and they have to be set up on a schedule. And it's not going to happen in my first 4 years. When I come in, the first thing I'm going to address is going to be the drainage.
Yeah, there's a ditch that runs through my uncle's property that the county had put in years ago, and the agreement was that they were going to maintain the ditch, but they haven't done anything to it in probably 20 years.
The county, you asked me earlier about my knowledge of this area. My father-in-law grew up down here. He was born down here, and he was basically raised on that Johnson Ranch. And he taught years and years and years ago, the Conservation Corps come through here, and they dug ditches across Tarkington Prairie to drain the prairie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, at that time, it was a prairie, and it was open range. Okay, then when that land started selling off, what did they start doing? They started putting fences.
Yeah.
And when they started putting fences up, then all these tallow trees that guy brought over from China, they started growing on those fence rows, and they still do it. And then the guy up or downriver from you decided he didn't want your water anymore, so he plugged that off. He blocked those ditches off. They did not have any right to go in there to open those ditches up.
Yeah.
And we still have that on some.
Yeah.
So it's going to go up to the county attorney's office. They're going to have to get off their rear end. Let's go and go after some of this stuff, and let's get this done.
Well, the tallow trees get a lot of grief from people, but the bees like them.
Yeah, you got to take care of bees too.
Yeah.
When the bees go, we go.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So when developers build new subdivisions, do you believe they should be required to build roads to a higher standard than they currently are?
I think the county needs to set that. My parents put in a couple of subdivisions, and they had to jump through all the bells and whistles to make sure that those roads were built to the standards at that time. And I mean, we'll look at Plum Grove. Again, I'm going to go after Greg Arthur. Greg Arthur went out there and got in Boo Reeves' way, and he's the one that stepped up and said, hey, we're going to accept these roads as they are. He fought. He wanted to get the darn culvert in there at Plum Grove to open that road up to where you can go through Plum Grove, and it's still not open to this day because for some reason Plum Grove didn't want Liberty County coming in there and getting in their city business.
Now they got a washout that's not been repaired.
Got a washout. It's not. When I go down there, I'm still on a feed business.
Yeah.
And I still deliver feed to a couple customers on the other side of that. So I got to drive
all the way around
through that darn subdivision to get to the other side and put feed out.
I feel bad for the people who live there on those corners because they got all that traffic just coming through like it's just part of the main thoroughfare.
And you look at the concrete roads that they put in, it's going to cost a fortune to repair and maintain those roads, and they're breaking all up from all the heavy trucks that drive in and out of the subdivision all the time.
Yeah, that's frustrating. So road and bridge isn't just pavement, it's also drainage. We talked about that. What role should the commissioner play in flood mitigation and drainage improvements?
He ought to be out looking for anything that he can get to maintain and keep those ditches open and keep the drainage ways opened up.
Would you prioritize drainage improvements even if they aren't as visible to residents as newly paved roads?
If you look at my website, you'll see where I walked down that Gaylor Creek the other day and was trying to take pictures, and there's trees and everything down in it. And it was the same way on the other side where Lee Gross stopped at when he started his deal. He ran out of money. And then it was up to the next commissioner to carry that on. Charlotte didn't do anything on that side of it. And I don't know if she got bullied on commissioner's court. I don't know. I wasn't there. But something's got to be done. And you just can't say, well, I can't do anything about it. It's not my deal. It is your deal.
And small trees become big trees and bigger problems.
Oh, yeah. And they're growing up on this other side now that Lee did.
Yeah, they'll block up a drain real fast.
Yep.
We try to keep the one behind our house cleared out so that it won't become a problem, but, you know.
Nobody's got a track hose sitting around with a 60 or 80 foot bunny to reach down to the bottom and clean out that ditch.
Nope, and vegetation around here grows fast, as we both know. Property taxes are consistently one of the biggest concerns for Liberty County residents. Commissioner's Court has significant influence over setting the tax rate for the county. Would you support lowering the tax rate, even if it means cutting services? If so, where would you cut first?
I would like to be able to look at the budget and talk to the other people involved in the county before I made any of those types of decisions. But I'm not for raising the taxes on the people out here. I'm more in just get the biggest bang for the buck off your money.
Yeah. Do you feel like we're getting the biggest bang for our buck now?
No, I do not.
What changes would you make to the budget?
Again, I'd have to be sitting
Have to
down
look
and-
at it? Well, have you looked at the past budgets?
Yes, I've looked at the past budget and I've seen where we're paying and creating departments that Liberty County, my personal opinion, I would never vote for. We didn't need fire marshal to start up. We got sheriff's department, we have fire departments. I know the previous fire people involved in some of that had some issues going on, but I think there's other ways to do things than the way we're doing it right now.
Aren't there positions that are budgeted that never were filled?
I've been told that in the sheriff's department, but then again, I'm
not in the sheriff's department, just in other departments.
Well, I'm
positions
sure
that
there
were
are.
not filled.
I just the sheriff's department's thrown at me all the time, and I really believe that our sheriff's department, for the size of this county, is doing a great job.
Okay. What would your administration look like at the end of your first term? What would it look like? What do you hope to have accomplished?
Subdivisions not getting flooded.
Subdivisions not getting flooded, including the old existing subdivisions?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All
We
right.
got to get the water moving.
Okay. What would be, besides water, what would be your other priority?
Law enforcement, local fire department, public safety, and transparency in commissioner's court. Let people know what you're spending their money, why you're spending their money.
Well, they put everything on YouTube. They have all the videos go on YouTube channel. Is there any other way that they could improve transparency?
I don't think we got a lot of people that aren't tech savvy and don't watch it. I was the old black and white newspaper kind of person. I like to see it in my hand. Just like I went to that loose bio meeting earlier before I came over for this. And you go in there and the guy talks for a long time and he's got copies of reports over on the deal, but he didn't hand them out to anybody.
Yeah.
He talked about it. But I like to look at stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. But the newspapers are like going
dinosaurs.
away.
They're dinosaurs.
You and I both know because I used to run them.
But I can read yours. I can pick it up on Bluebonnet.
On Bluebonnet, yeah. Yeah, it's easy to get to. But how would we get to the other people that you're suggesting that we need to reach to inform them of the decisions that are being made?
Believe it or not, because of my teaching side, I like to get in front of people. I like to talk to people. I don't mind a town hall meeting. I don't mind getting out and telling people what's going on.
So you want more face-to-face?
Yes.
Like have town hall meetings periodically just to inform your residents?
Just to let people know what's going on.
Okay.
If they don't want to know, they don't have to show up.
So Precinct 2 includes both rural roads and heavily traveled areas. It's still quite a bit rural, but it does include part of Cleveland now. So how would you balance limited dollars between the needs of a rural area versus a more congested area?
Well, when you get into Cleveland, then Cleveland's going to have some type of agreement with the county on some of their roads and stuff, or Cleveland's going to be responsible for the roads within their city. Over there on the north side around Hill Store Road and Low Water Bridge Road and all that stuff, I used to lease the pasture there on Low Water Bridge Road and had cattle on it for about 16 years. A couple of hurricanes come through there, wiped out me and wiped out Channelview. So, I mean, that's a different kind of area than even over here in Tarkington, but it can all be taken care of.
Would your administration be Tarkington centric, or you would focus on all the other area? Okay. Because your territory would extend all the way to Rye and Romare, right? Hoop and Holler, that whole area.
Yes.
That's a huge territory.
Oh, yeah, it's big.
Lots of roads.
Goes all the way down to basically Hardin and kicks across and goes over the Hull.
It goes to the Hardin County line.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pretty big territory.
Yep.
Well, I think it has the most roads. Does it still have the most roads?
Yes.
Okay. That's going to be the biggest challenge is keeping up with all the roads.
Yeah, especially with the budget that we're having.
Yeah. Do you see any way of increasing the amount that the road and bridge gets? You can't do it without raising the tax rate, correct?
I would have to get in there and be talking to 3 other commissioners and the county judge to kind of see where we're going. I mean, here I go again. We're paying people in departments $100,000 more a year per person than what any other county around us is paying.
Okay, specifically? You don't want to get specific?
No.
No. Okay.
But the people that I'm talking to, they hear me and they know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
This is not right. What we're doing, I mean, we could basically fund a precinct off of the amount of money we're paying two departments.
Okay.
I mean, and that's the God's honest truth.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So this one's going to be a little bit sticky because a lot of people are opposed to this. But Liberty County currently operates under a precinct-based road system where each commissioner manages his own road crews and equipment. Some counties are using what's called the unit system. Are you familiar with the unit system?
Yes, ma'am, and I don't like it.
You don't?
Charlotte Warner tried to start it. And the part of that deal is we want to go back and if I need a grade all out here to open up a ditch, I don't want to have to go sign on a piece of paper to get in line to get it.
Okay, because another commissioner might be borrowing it.
Yeah, another commissioner might have it, or a bulldozer. You don't have to have. My father-in-law helped clear a big part of Lake Livingston in the dozer business with Gene Campbell.
Yeah.
They had big dozers and they had their own equipment, and they were making money with it. Well, the county doesn't really make money. They might save some money, especially when you start putting that kind of cash behind a piece of equipment. But if you need it, you need it, and you don't need to wait on it.
So for people who don't know, a unit system is where road operations are centralized under a countywide administrator and crews and equipment are pooled.
Mm-hmm.
And then you would go and use the equipment and then return it to the pool that other commissioners would also use. You could have duplicates of equipment, and that might,
I look back on the history of my family. My family used to farm about 10,000 acres in 4 different counties.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we had limited supplies of tractors. We had to keep big 4-wheel drive tractors because we farmed in Port Arthur, we farmed in Crosby, we farmed in Dayton, Mont Bellevue. We farmed all over the place, and you couldn't take the big four back. We couldn't back in those days, so we did have to have and share some of the equipment. But when you some of the other equipment that was used on a regular basis, we had to have it there
on a daily basis.
On a daily basis.
Okay, all right. So do you see any advantages of a unit system?
Maybe out west.
Okay, just not in your precinct, huh?
Not my precinct.
All right. Supporters of a unit system argue that it eliminates duplication of equipment, but you just don't think that it would operate more efficiently?
I don't think so.
Okay. So what is your opinion of the new county jail project? And do you believe it's an essential need right now?
I've been walking in and out of this current jail that we have for going on 16 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not, I'm not throwing this out at anybody. Yeah, I am. But
yeah, you are. Yeah, you are.
The doors have never worked.
Okay.
The doors going in and out of that jail, they hang up, they lock up. The poor girls that work in there, they come out and they stick a bar up and pry back a latch to let you get into jail.
That sounds like a security risk. And a safety risk.
I'm not getting into the whole security of the jail.
Yeah.
But yeah, our jail needs maintenance. It needs to be fixed. And I'm right now, they know about it. They told me in jail this past weekend when I was over there magistrating that they want to spend $60,000 on each one of those doors or each one of those
entry units
to where you got in and out of the jail. Just buy whole new ones. And,
pricey.
Yeah. Well, my family. We had a guy that ran the dryer for my parents in Dayton, Texas. His name was Jerry Dent. He was from Hardin.
Yeah.
He was a preacher over there in a
and as
church.
a dance. Uh-huh.
Yeah. And anyway, Jerry Dent was over all the electrical stuff in that dryer, and he could go out there with a multimeter and he could flop switches around and do things and correct stuff and get things working. We didn't have to spend $60,000 because our auger wouldn't transfer from one bin to the next. It was usually something that could be fixed. And if we don't have somebody, I'm thinking throw it at them again, right here in this office, we had our breaker blowing in here where all the fiber optics come in and all the electronics are in this office. And the coffee pot, one of the most important
Parts of an office?
Yeah, parts of an office. was blowing the breaker, and they wanted to come over here, and I'm not picking on the guy, but he wanted to go put a heavier duty breaker in it. And I said, no, we don't do that. You got to figure out why this thing's tripping.
Yeah, why it's shorting.
Yeah, because if you put a heavy duty breaker, you're just going to turn this building into a fuse and burn it up.
Yeah.
So, Jerry was really good, and we have electricians, companies. I mean, I'm not throwing names out, but we got some really good people that could come in here and they could look this over, and I guarantee you they could fix those doors for less than $60,000 a piece.
Yeah.
You just got to use them.
So what about building the new jail, though? Are you in support of that?
They got to have a bigger jail.
Okay, so you are in support.
Oh, yeah, they got to have a bigger jail.
Yeah, we've outgrown that one.
I'd like to use Walmart and just went in and put big old cyclone cages around there.
I don't think it would meet the standards, though. There's so many standards to meet.
William Wayne Justice was the one that ruined our jails here in Texas.
William Wayne Justice?
Yeah.
Funny that he had that last name.
Yeah, wasn't it? Well.
Interesting. Well, public service is not easy, and you've been doing it for quite a while. So why does it matter to you personally?
I guess because I've been doing it so long. I've done it for a long time, and I've never had a scandal. So, it's just, I'm trying to help people. That's the way I am.
So what drives you to keep stepping forward into public service?
I just enjoy helping people.
Okay. Are you a member of a church here in this area?
I was for a long time.
Yeah. All right. You have children here?
Yes.
Yes. Are they? I guess they're adults by now, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So mine are too.
I actually had yours in school. I taught yours in night school out here.
Oh, my grandson. Yeah. He was a good kid.
Yep.
Yeah. He's working now. He's out of school.
Good job.
Got 4 more, and then 1 more on the way. Have 1 more in March. So when your time in public office is over one day, what do you hope people will say about Wade Brown?
That's a deep.
I know.
That he did his best, I guess.
Yeah.
Because what people don't understand is it's almost a fight today.
Yeah.
To get stuff done. I mean, taking this building 8 years ago, it got run into. It's still not fixed. The other day, the auditor threw me in there in a conversation he probably didn't even know I was listening to because he was on another phone and said that he gave me the money to fix the building. You can't give me the money to fix the building. I don't fix none of this stuff. It's them. It's the commissioners in charge of the maintenance.
Who's responsible for the maintenance?
It's going to be Krbowski.
Okay.
But the one that you fall back on is going to be Greg Arthur, Commissioner of Precinct 2, because this building is in his precinct. I actually have 3 commissioners, but the biggest part falls on Greg Arthur, and he hasn't done anything. He's walked in this office twice since I've been in office for 16 years, and he's been in office for 12 years. The first time he came in here was 4 years ago and asked me if I was going to run against him, and I was. But my son came down and got sick and went in the hospital, and I spent before Greg came in here, I was spent 3 nights on the floor in the ICU in Kingwood, and I was trying to get Brent moved down to the Methodist, and they were wanting to cut Brent's feet and hands off.
Oh my gosh!
Because they didn't know what was wrong with him. And Greg comes in here that morning after I'd come back from Kingwood, took a shower, came up here, signed some papers, and get this thing going. And Greg walks in, and he wanted to talk to me personally. So he came. I asked, "Come on in the office," and the only thing he asked me was, "Are you going to run against me?" And I said, "I was, but I can't now. I can't be without a job."
You got to keep your kid's health was important.
So anyway, he said, "Well, I'm not going to run again. You don't run. I'm not going to run again next time." And then he signed up. And
so you're like, I'm going to go ahead and sign up now.
yes.
Okay. Well, now we're going to shift gears for our rapid fire questions. Those are fun ones. So all you have to do is just answer the first thing that comes to mind, okay? Early morning or late night?
I get up at 4:30 in the morning.
Why so early?
Just gets the day rolling.
What do you do at 4:30 in the morning?
Talk to the dog.
Talk to your dog. That's it? Just talk to the dog?
That's it.
Fix coffee and talk to the dog?
He don't argue.
He doesn't argue with you. That's good. Gravel roads or paved highways?
Paved.
Okay.
It's expensive.
Yeah.
The part about, I'll go into this. Lee Gross and Melvin Hunt borrowed the money to pave all these roads when they were in office. And they set the precedent. It actually increased the value of all this property around here because they had paved roads. If you go to any county, I mean, they're catching up to us now, but back then,
that was a new thing.
That was a new thing. Nobody had paved roads. They kept maintainers rolling all the time. The edge of the blades were rolling off. But yeah, it's paved roads is the way to go. We don't want to go back to the Model A's running up down the mud roads.
Yeah. Paper calendar or digital calendar?
I use both of them.
Both.
I just have to remember to punch it in
On your phone?
on my phone.
Yeah. Well, I guess you have people here that help you keep organized.
Yes, I do have that.
Preventive maintenance or emergency response?
Preventive maintenance is the best way to go for any of this stuff. It saves you money in the long run.
But what if you don't have the money for the preventive maintenance? Then what?
Then you got to start taking care of other problems, cutting things. Something.
Yeah. So best leadership
What's
trait.
a bulldozer cost now? What's a bulldozer cost?
Oh, I have no clue.
I mean,
Do you know?
What size you buy? Oh yeah, we're gonna spend $700 or $800 to get a dozer that we could use.
$700,000, $800,000.
Yes.
Ooh.
What's a combine cost? Combines. I mean, we don't do farming, but a combine. When I was farming, I bought a John Deere combine for $35,000.
I used to play under my grandpa's combine.
And a combine today is $1 million.
Remember those things that they would have that would pick the cotton, those long metal things that were underneath?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would go over there and play with those. My mom like, stop getting underneath the combine. Yeah, but it was fun. Best leadership trait, patience or decisiveness?
I think patience. I'm going to listen to you.
Okay. One word that describes you.
Crazy. For running for office.
Crazy for running for office. What's another word that describes you that's not that one?
Fair.
Fair. Okay. What is one misconception about you?
People sometimes think I'm aggressive.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Hidden.
And I'm not.
You're not. Okay. Hidden talent.
I can do a lot of stuff. So.
Building, welding, that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. Those are always handy people to have around.
Fixing.
My son-in-law's like that. He can fix anything. It's great. In a pinch, he can fix anything. Favorite Liberty County meal spot?
Oh, darn. I'm right in the middle of the...
Oh, I know. I know which one you better say.
I like barbecue. I like Rock and R.
Yeah.
And the other one down there, I can't even remember what the name
Ranch
is.
hand?
Yeah, the ranch hand.
Oh, ranch hands is the best.
Ranch hand. Yeah, I like ranch hand.
Fried green tomatoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think anyone makes fried green tomatoes better than ranch hand.
Yeah, that's a good place to eat.
Yeah, it is. When you're not working, what are you most likely doing?
Working.
Doing what?
Anything.
Just working on projects around the house?
Yeah.
Doing whatever your wife tells you?
Farm, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Biggest lesson you've learned as a justice of the peace?
Holy smoke. Being a JP is it's a broad job. I fall back on listening to people and because you make some pretty good decisions on people, for people.
Yeah.
And you're not going to ever make everybody happy.
So you think that you've become a better listener?
Yes.
Okay. If you weren't in public service, what would you be doing?
I'd still be doing cattle feed, ranching type stuff.
Do you miss teaching?
Teaching's not the way it was when I was teaching.
It's not.
Teaching has changed a whole lot, and the biggest change in teaching is discipline.
Well, that's a lack of parental support too.
Parental, and it's changing on the administrative side and
Yeah.
education too. When I first started teaching, the guy that was my first principal that actually hired me was a football coach.
Mm-hmm.
And the assistant principal at the time was my science teacher when I was in school, Mr. Davis. Yeah, they told me the first thing, if you're going to use the board, use it.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to punish a child, punish a child. But
don't just threaten.
don't threaten.
No.
Let them know there's a line. Don't
And they cross
that
it.
line.
Yeah, if they cross it,
You
they
cross that
pay.
line, there's a penalty.
Yeah.
And then my daddy was an old football coach. And my dad told me if you get in trouble at school,
You get in trouble at
way
home.
more trouble when you get
That's
home.
the same thing we heard. You got in trouble at school, you got another spanking when you got home.
Yep.
So we just tried not to ever get in trouble because we didn't want to get spanking, particularly not from our daddy, because it hurt our hearts when our daddy spanked us. Plus, he was spanked. He spanked harder.
I think my mother was crazy. She would whoop the dog out of you.
Yeah.
She was a superwoman.
Yeah.
You didn't want your mom.
Didn't want to
whipping
cross it. No. So I thank you for joining me today, Wade. I said I want to tell my listeners, thank you for tuning in to Headlines and Heartlines. I hope you're all learning new things about the candidates running for public office. My goal always is to give voters clear, straightforward information so they can make informed decisions at the ballot box. Do you have anything you want to say before we wrap up?
No, I just thank you for coming out here and giving me the opportunity to talk.
You have anything you want to tell them before they head to the ballot box?
If y'all elect me, I will go after drainage issues. That would be my top priority going into it. Law enforcement's and fire department and all these first responders are going to be right behind that. But just count on me being transparent about everything I do.
Well, thank you everyone for joining us. Until next time.